Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. It is championship night for the DegaPros Little Guy Series here on the Hickory Racing Network. Glad that you are joining me here this evening. So far, man, we have got every one of our championship drivers in the field tonight, and that is unique compared to last season. This season, 15 drivers have made the trek to this championship race, and those are the 15 that are going to be on the racetrack. A small field tonight, but every single driver in the field is racing for the honor to be the Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dawson Wise, and I have brought you through every race of this season. Tonight, bigger than all the rest. 15 guys set to do battle here tonight for the honor of being called champion here on late Monday nights. And we are going to have 50 laps to decide it tonight. An extended race for you here tonight. 50 laps here tonight. We'll go through the format for you. We'll go through the 15 guys, each one by one, give you an idea of who is in this field. I can tell you tonight, 50 laps, 80% fuel. That's a little bit different than we're used to. So a pit stop going to come into play tonight. We'll get to that a little bit later as the race goes on. One fast repair, 3 green-white checkers available here tonight on Monday night, late Monday night. We'll get to the field in a moment. Did want to say very quickly, first off, I'm trying a little bit something different tonight. I've boosted the quality a little bit of the stream, so if it gets choppy, if it gets to where it's stuttering, if it gets to anything like that, any kind of problems, other than the general choppiness that comes with live streaming, anything, you're never going to have it be perfect. Let me know. Please let me know down in the chat. Let me know if there's any kind of problems, and I'll try to get those fixed. But I'm trying something different. I'm boosting the quality. What else would I do for championship night here on Monday night? But if it's crystal clear, cool. Let me know that too. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing on how we're looking on all of that. But I did want to try to boost that up just a little bit here for you all on a Monday night. All right, let's get to it. The 15 drivers set to duke it out here for the championship on Monday nights. KSR has several drivers in this field. Trevor Osbornoff in the 89, he is here. He is in the championship running tonight. Ryan Baste has been running with that group. He is here as well. Dustin Carruthers is in the field tonight running for a championship. Running down a little bit further, trying to find some of those drivers. I know there's McCullough Motorsports drivers in here as well. Austin Green, the 87, won his way in last week. Ron Morris, David Sheets, they got their way in the first week. Josh McCullough always runs up front, and he's going to be up in the mix for it here late in the going. Devin Ray for McCullough Motorsports, he is in the contention for this one as well. Moving on from there, Hyper Motorsports, Justin Mills, he is in the field tonight for a championship. Slack Fox Racing, Nick Warner is in the field tonight as well. How about the story for the 3 Machine? He's in the field tonight as well. The Wolfpack has a few entries in here as well. Harrison Whitehead in the 77. Michael Menchaca in the 32. Tim White in the 239. He is also in the field. The final man in tonight's championship field, actually the final 2 men, Nash Brambilla for Team PGR in the 87. He's had a good season so far. He looks to cap it off with a championship here tonight. And finally, the 043 of Zach Range. Those are the 15 men set to do battle, set to go to war here tonight for this championship. And we are getting ready to put these guys onto the grid. It is race time. We have run an entire season, and it all comes down to this. Here tonight, 50 laps of the Talladega Super Speedway to decide our champion here on Monday nights. The starting grid, here we go. Little Guys Series finale, championship night here on a late Monday night. The fast time tonight, 56.050. The 05 tonight of Joshua McCullough for McCullough Motorsports. He is on the pole. To his outside, it'll be his McCullough Motorsports teammate, David Sheets, in the 1. Justin Mills for Hyper Motorsports rolls from 3rd position with Zach Range to his outside. Row 3 will be Dustin Carruthers for KSR and Tim White in the 239. The Green Ghost, Austin Green, rolls from 7th. Trevor Osbornoff, the 89, to his outside in 8th. And rounding out the top 10, Ron Morris Jr. and Ryan Baste. Last 5 competing trucks in the field for you here tonight for the championship. Nick Warner in the 3, and Nash Brambilla, they make up row number 6. Devin Ray and Michael Menchaca will make up row number 7. And Harrison Whitehead will round out the field tonight, running from 17th. So we are ready to get it going here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. I know you are ready. I know I am ready. What a season it has been, and we have the drivers set to go, set to battle here tonight for a championship for you right here on the Hickory Racing Network. Like I said, a pit stop will be in play. It is 80% fuel. Here tonight, it is different. It is 50 laps. A pit stop will come into play, and whoever makes the best pit stop could very well become our Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. Payouts are bigger tonight as well. I've been told it is now $300 to first instead of $250. It was listed at $250. I've been told it was $300 regardless. It's going to be a very large championship pot to our champion here tonight. $150 listed for second, $100 for third. You want to get in that top three here tonight from Talladega, but the one man you want to be is the man they call champion. 15 guys are on the track. 15 guys are ready to go battle for it here tonight. And I hope you all are ready as well. I've been grateful to cover this series for 2 seasons. I'm glad I can actually make it out to one of these championship races here this season. I know I was unable to make last season's championship. And so to make this season's championship, it means a lot. I'm happy to be here tonight and happy to be with you here on the Hickory Racing Network. Hope this is going to be a good race. It's going to be a fun one. I can tell you that much. This is 15 of the best that you've seen on the Monday night scene, and they are set to go all out for it here over the course of 50 laps. So let's see how the race pans out. Let's see how the racing looks here early on. I can't imagine it would be too terribly aggressive, but we'll just have to wait and see here early in the going as we put these guys under the green flag for the first time. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Want to thank everybody for jumping in the chat. Jumping in here early, jumping in here quickly, cheering for their drivers here tonight. Robert Miller, good to see you. You know he's rooting on McCullough Motorsports. They've got several entries in the field tonight. Devin Ray's on track. Devin, appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the support as always. It's so much fun to be here. So much fun to get up and get behind the microphone for you all here tonight. Kenny Stamper, the big boss man over at KSR. He's got trucks in the field tonight as well. You know, he's watching intently as we get ready to go into the green flag for the first time. William Fox jumping in the chat as well. Good to see you, William, out here on a Monday night. And no, the race has not started yet. We start late here on Monday nights just because of everyone's league schedule, because of everyone else's money racing schedule. The only time we can start is just after 11 p.m. on the East Coast. And Mark Vondell chiming in as well. You know, he's rooting on the McCullough boys. We've seen him here on Monday nights as well. Mark, good to see you. Good to have you out here. It's a nice audience. It's time to get this one underway and have these guys go to battle. Into the restart zone for the first time, Josh McCullough sees the green flag fly. We are racing in the championship race for the Little Guys Series. Lap 1 in the books and over with. 49 laps remain here from Talladega. Justin Mills and Josh McCullough find themselves in an early lead. David Sheets pushing on the back of his teammate in the 0-5, Josh McCullough. Up in that outside line, Tim White riding for now. Not much for him to do so far. Couple special paint schemes in the field tonight. I know Nick Warner has a special Wrangler-inspired scheme on his truck here tonight. You can see Trevor Osrenoth is pretty much the exact counterpart to that. The Rainbow Warrior look on the 89 machine here tonight. A new look for Tim White as well in the 239. And a couple of other new paint schemes here in the field as well. As we get underway, so far everybody content to just run lockstep 2x2. For the most part here, expect it not to be too chaotic early, knowing that pit stop is coming at about halfway. And whoever executes on that pit stop most likely is going to get to call themselves champion tonight. We'll have to see. In turns 1 and 2, Josh McCullough leads over Justin Mills. Now Dustin Carruthers finds his way here towards the front. Everybody's starting to single out really on the bottom. No real movement here so far from that top lane. Everybody filing in line. Not really moving. The Wolfpack guys are moving further back. That's Harrison Whitehead and Michael Menchaca. But other than that, not a ton of movement here at the front of the field. Everybody just kind of content to run where they're at. Run single file for a little bit, get some laps under their belt, and get closer to the end of this one before they do anything big. And that's notable because we only have one fast repair. Now, Trevor Osbornoff jumps to the outside in front of the Wolfpack guys in the middle. That leaves 5 cars up in the middle. David Sheets, Tim White, the Wolfpack duo of Whitehead and Menchaca. And, well, Whitehead jumps to the bottom, and Trevor Osbornoff takes his spot in the middle. Into turns number 1 and 2 for once another time. 4 laps on the board already of 50 scheduled here tonight. We have 3 green, white checkered attempts later should we need them. David Sheets, an inspired run to the front here. Here comes the one for the first time tonight. David Sheets to the lead at Talladega Superspeedway. He is pushed by Tim White, the 239. Trevor Osbornoff locked on the back of them, the KSR entry. Now Ryan Bass says, I like the way that's moving. I'm going to go to the front as well. How about Ron Morris and Nash Brambilla further back? 76, 87, 73, starting to make it happen. David Sheets racing side by side with his McCullough Motorsports teammate Josh McCullough. McCullough with a nice push on the bottom from Justin Mills and Dustin Carruthers. Into turn number 1, Josh McCullough really doing a great job of controlling lanes so far in the 0-5. New look on his truck tonight as well. And now, right as I say that, he's going to drop to the bottom, go to the back, and relax for a little bit. That allows David Sheets to leave, but not for long. He gets split out in the middle. Here comes Tim White to the outside. He brings Dustin Carruthers with him. The field scrambles a little bit as Josh McCullough tries to get back on track, and now Zach Range is hung out 3 wide, all by his lonesome. So Range, the big loser out of that exchange. I think David Sheets is probably going to just let him in line. A little bit early to be doing all of that, and he does just that. Tim White and Justin Mills going to take their shots up front now. What a great season it's been for these two. Tim White got in week 4 by virtue of his 4th place finish. Justin Mills getting in on the very last week of the season, week 5. White to the bottom. Osbornoff now leads the top. He's got a healthy push here from Zach Range. Osbornoff and Range, 2 of the most consistent drivers here on Monday nights. No surprise they have found their way to the front. They've got a nose for leading this race. They don't have any help right now, though. They need a 3rd truck to go with them. Everybody kind of single file out on the bottom right now as they run here in turns 3 and 4. On the back straightaway here. On the front straightaway off of turn number 4. White going to get passed up, but Justin Mills now loses all of his help, so he's up there by his lonesome here. Nobody going with him. This is weird. Justin Mills, really no help to be found here for the 2. He's going to have to drop a ways. Nash Brambilla now trying to make his way up here to get on the back bumper of the 2. Devin Ray coming up as well as Nick Warner. There go the KSR teammates. You wondered how long it was going to take them to get hooked up. They are nose to tail, and they want to lead the race. They're going to do just that. New leader at Talladega, Dustin Carruthers for the first time tonight in the 10. They've got a 3rd entry here up with them. Ryan Bass, they're now lined up 1, 2, and 3 in that middle line. KSR flexing muscle early on in the championship race. Dustin Carruthers drops to the bottom. Other 2 going to stay up in that middle line. Trevor Osbornoff, Ryan Bass trying to hold their positions up there. Nash Brambilla, Devin Ray, Nick Warner coming to the rescue of these 2 up top. We're going to have 5 rows 2 wide once again. Lap 7 on the board. Carruthers, Osbornoff leading. Brambilla says, I want to go a lane higher. Unfortunately for him, Devin Ray stays tucked in line, stays in the 2nd lane, and is going to go with the KSR entries of Osbornoff and Bass. Carruthers back up in front of his teammate as Brambilla gets cycled backwards. On the bottom, still Tim White holding strong in the 239. He's got a push from Zach Range. Man on the move so far is Devin Ray, up 8 spots from where he started in 14th. 4th in that outside line. Now he drops into the bottom and behind Zach Range and Tim White. Carruthers sees the opportunity, drops back down to the bottom. Osbornoff and Bass once again lead that middle. There is Nick Warner in that blue and yellow Chevrolet. He is in the Sly Fox Racing number 3. as he muscles his way to the outside. He wants a piece of the front here early in the going, lap 8. He says, I've rested long enough. I'm going to go up there and try to go get me some here early in the going here at Talladega, as he is third in line now behind the two KSR teammates of Based and Osborne. No slouch, the driver of the 3. Certainly a deserving part of this championship race. He's here to make a statement tonight and upset some of these other, maybe perhaps favorites on these bigger teams. Some interesting combos of drivers here tonight. You know, we have the Wolfpack out here. Harrison Whitehead, Michael Menchaca. We already talked about Hyper and KSR and McCullough Motorsports as well. And a lot of other drivers aren't running with teammates tonight. I know Zach Range is not. He is solo here in the 043, but you know, he can get the job done solo. He's done it so many times in the past. Certainly could absolutely get the job done here tonight as a solo driver in this field. We'll see what he's got for these boys. He's currently running third on the inside line, running fifth. Nash Brambilla, he's a solo driver tonight technically, but he is a member of Team PGR. But a solo driver tonight of these 15. So interesting combos of teams, interesting combos of drivers. Tim White, a scramble here on the backstretch. Carruthers, Warner, and others, they made contact there on the backstretch. It stacks up the bottom big time. Up front now, White, Osborne, Base, they're all going to get clear. Osborne and Base say, I'm going to stay up here. And Carruthers is going to go with him. Tim White, the odd man out here as he waits on some help. Zach Range going to get to him. He's going to give him a big shot here on the exit of turn number 4. White going to keep it straight. Keep the truck underneath him. Try to stay in front of these guys, but he's not going to be able to do so. At least 2 of those KSR trucks are going to be clear. They're going to try to get them all 3 clear. No, they are not. Actually, they're just going to clear 1 down. Ryan Base, Dustin Carruthers continue to try to work that middle line. KSR, man, they are seriously flexing some strength here early in this race. You knew they'd be hard to beat. But, man, they are looking very sporty early on in the going of this one, even being able to make it work up top with really only 2 trucks. Carruthers doing an excellent job of pushing. Ryan Baste at times done an excellent job of pushing so far already in this race. Everybody else behind them, single file on the bottom. I believe it was going to be a 1-stop race. It might be a 2-stop race. We will see. It may very well be a 2-stop race. So you may be looking at potentially 2 pit stops instead of 1. We'll have to see as we get going. 80% fuel. At least from what I've seen, I think would make the run about 20 laps, somewhere in there, 20, 22. And in that case, it would be a 2-stop race. So potentially not 1 but 2 green flag pit stops these drivers will have to negotiate. And that's going to be unique because all season, if you'll remember, our races were 27 laps long with 100% fuel. You never really had to worry about gas in those races. Tonight, it is going to be a pinnacle of whether or not you are running for a championship by the time we get to lap 50. We are already a quarter of the way into this one, already lap 12 on the board. We are flying through this event. Up front, still Osbornoth, Based, Carruthers. Tim White took a look to the middle. I'm not sure if that was intentional or he was just getting some air. A little bit early, I think, still for those kinds of moves. Perhaps just trying to cool the engine off, and Osbornoth realizes that. Goes up in front of his teammates here, Based and Carruthers. Based freshest on temperatures here, and he will be able to push the 89 for a little bit of time here. Zach Range going to help the 239 of Tim White all the way back to the race lead. And Tim White, how about this run so far from the 239? Excellent job controlling lanes. Excellent job being able to take big pushes. Zach Range, he's very aggressive on the back bumper, and he has already given several significant hits to the back of that 239. And Tim White says, you know what, I can handle it if it's what it takes to keep us up front. Nick Warner, Devin Ray, David Sheets have all settled in. Justin Mills, by the way, after getting hung out by himself up in the middle line, has settled into 9th position. Several guys running towards the tail end of this field. Nash Brambilla is back there. Michael Menchaca is back there. Austin Green, Harrison Whitehead. Biding their time, waiting, letting this race pan out a little bit before they go up and get it done. It's a small field, so you can afford to wait just a little bit longer than you could maybe on a previous Monday night, especially when there were 35 trucks on the racetrack. Tonight, you can afford to wait. You got a lot more time and a lot less trucks. Osbornoth surges to the race leader halfway down the back straightaway. He's got his teammate Ryan Based up all over the back bumper. They may all get clear right here. All three of those KSR trucks may get clear. Carruthers, that's a quick clear across the bumper of Tim White, but he makes it work. And now we are single file for the first time here tonight in turns 3 and 4. 14 laps on the board. We are slowly approaching potentially the only green flag stop of the night, but also could be one of two. And we approach that window here in the next 6 to 10 laps. Lap 15 goes on the board. Trevor Osborne leading his two teammates, Ryan Based and Dustin Carruthers. Harrison Whitehead, Michael Menchaca, like I said, running a little bit further back. Same with Ron Morris. Josh McCullough settled in just at the tail end of the top 10. And everybody going to be just content to ride. I am not surprised at all. This is where this race has gone. You know there's a pit stop coming. You know strategy is going to be an important part of this race. So no surprise. These guys are just saying, all right, look, let's log laps. Let's not put too much pressure on each other. Let's, look out for each other here and race it out when we get to the end of this race. For now, that's what everybody is content to do. 15 laps on the board, going to be 16 as Trevor Osborne flashes by the start-finish line of the DuPont Tyvek Chevrolet. And, he's comfortable leading laps. He likes to see that lap counter continue to go up, continue to lead these laps, continue to be in control of the field, and he's especially comfortable now knowing he has his two teammates along with him here on the bottom line, Ryan Based, Dustin Carruthers. Certainly a comfortable spot if you are KSR here early in the going. Everybody's still running right along that yellow line, the shortest way around this 2.66-mile oval, as they begin to prep for pit stops, and this is where execution is going to be key. You got to be able to get on, get into your box, don't speed, don't slide, don't spin, don't hit anybody, and then drive out of your box, get off pit road in a timely manner, may I add. You got to go quickly, especially if it's under the green flag. You got to make it quick and get hooked up with your drafting partners once you get off of that pit stop. Fastest pit stop in these kinds of races typically makes or breaks your night, and it could absolutely do so here in this race. Boy, a lot of cloud cover in 1 and 2. It's suddenly gotten almost dark over there on the beginnings of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Actually, all the way down the Super Stretch, it's dark. Now the sun starts to peek back out here as they enter turn number 3. It's going to change driver visibility quite a bit, and that will change a number of times. I will tell you, depending on the time of day that these races take place, that sun going into turn 3 can really be a major issue. Especially when you're running in the pack and you can't see. That sun gets right in your line of sight, right in your horizon, it gets very tough. And obviously with these visibility changes as well, it's going to be very tough for these guys to manage that. Sun peaks now back out on the front stretch. But once again, dark over here in turns 1 and 2. You can see the brightness difference. And that can mess with your vision as a driver. I know from experience that it can mess with you when that cloud cover comes in the middle of a race, or when the sun comes out in the middle of a race. It can really throw you off just a little bit. You got to get your bearings. Luckily, with everybody single file, not too hard, no harm, no foul. It's not very hard racing right now as Harrison Whitehead looks out of line for a brief moment. Everybody's still single file. We know a pit stop is coming. We just don't know when it will be. If you can stretch it to lap 25, it'll be a one-stop race. If not, it will be a two-stop race. And so as we await to see when those pit stops will happen, we begin to ask the question of, will this be a one-stop race or a two-stop race? If it's a one-stop race, your execution on that single pit stop will determine whether or not you are a champion here on a Monday night. Whereas if it's a two-stop race, you have two opportunities to get it right or get it wrong. Everybody's still single file, one after the other, here on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Now down the backstretch once again. And off towards turn number 3. Everybody has been like this for about the last 8 or so laps. Content to just ride. Only 15 trucks in the field. It makes it a little bit easier to justify just hanging out where you're at and letting the race come to you. Off turn number 4. Now that cloud cover has transitioned over here to the front straightaway. You can see how dark it is over here in the trial area of the racetrack now in the exit of turn number 4. Off into turn number 1 one more time. Trevor Osborne, boy, he looks awfully calm up there at the front of the field for right now, and you got to enjoy it while it lasts. This is the calmest the race will get. The intensity will continue to ramp up once we get in the latter portions of the race. And in this small a field, even the smallest moves, even the moves that would take so much more energy, so much more effort and timing, in this race, you don't have to have quite as much with less trucks in the field. You need less energy to make things happen. Lap 20 is when I figured the fuel tanks would expire. As they come off turn number 4, we will see if that is the case. It is not. Everybody going to stay on the racetrack one more time. If they make it to lap 25, it will be the only pit stop of the night. Want to thank you for coming out, watching this entire season, watching tonight's championship race. What a fun season it has been here in Season 2. Season 1 was great. Season 2 has taken it to an entirely different level. The competition level of these guys has just continued to ramp up every single week we see them. The quality of drivers, man, these guys, you can tell every single week they get a little bit better. And by the time you reach a race like this, I mean, these guys were on top of their game last week. Last week's race was phenomenal. It had a great finish. And Season 2 absolutely has lived up to the expectations both of myself, of the drivers, of the promoters, of the audience. Certainly has lived up to the expectations on all fronts. We're 3 laps from halfway home in the championship race. Clean and green to this point. If you're just joining me, Little Guys Series here on Monday nights. Spotlights drivers that you might not get to see as much of on a Tuesday or a Thursday night, say, on PGR Thursday Night Heat or Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder. And these are some of the guys that don't get as much of the spotlight. And boy, when they get the spotlight, they put on a heck of a show. I mean, every single week, these guys have really been putting on a show. And so if you've missed out, go back, watch this season. Keep watching tonight as well. These guys, they just continue to impress week after week. And it's been a great privilege of mine to get to watch these guys grow, develop, put on a show, and be electric week in, week out, and provide some great racing action here for you. Lap 23 going on the board. We are 2 laps short of the money lap for everybody to be able to make it on fuel from there. We'll see. We're getting awfully close to that number. It's going to be really close. So we'll have to see if these guys can indeed make that run to that money lap. Down the backstretch, Trevor Oswald, Brian Bass, Dustin Carruthers, Tim White, and Zach Range, your top 5. We'll give you a full field rundown while we're at it. Nick Warner runs 6th. Devin Ray runs 7th. David Sheets runs 8th. Justin Mills runs 9th. Josh McCullough rounding out the top 10. Last 5 trucks on the track tonight. And Ron Morris in 11th. Harrison Whitehead 12th. Austin Green 13th. Nash Brambilla 14th. And Michael Menchaca in 15th position. Lap 24 will go on the board. That means 27 remain. You're from the Talladega Super Speedway in the Little Guys Series, season number 2. Big payouts on the line here tonight. Also, the privilege of being called champion. And you know all these guys want that next to their name. They've raced for 5 weeks now, over a month of racing to get to this point. Now you have an opportunity to put a cap on your season, put a bow on it, and call yourself Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. We are approaching what should be our only green flag pit stop of the night. It should be coming up here in the next few laps. I would think they'd just go ahead and split the race mostly in half. 2 wide further back. Trucks starting to move. Here come Devin Ray and David Sheets, the McCullough Motorsports teammates. They must know the pit stop's coming because they are starting to move. Josh McCullough, Ron Morris as well, starting to get up on their horse. Austin Green going with them as well. The McCullough Motorsports trucks pushing the issue here on lap 25. They said it's time to race. We're at halfway. We got a pit stop coming. We want to get some track position. There to the outside. Devin Ray for the race lead here on the back straightaway. Here we go. Move the 22 to the point for the first time. Not quite. He's waiting on a little bit more help from David Sheets. Trying to adjust to that push. Not really working. KSR able to get right back on it here on the bottom. 2x2 for the race lead. Now the help is there from McCullough Motorsports in the outside line. 2x2, 5 rows deep. Now a couple more trucks. Here comes Nash Brambilla. He wants to join the party as well. And here we go. Pit stops. Tim White, Zach Range, the KSR boys, Carruthers, Osbornoff, and Based, as well as the Wolfpack duo. Menchaca and Harrison Whitehead. Zach Range, was he too fast on pit road? We will have to see. That's going to leave the McCullough Motorsports trucks, Nick Warner, Justin Mills, and Nash Brambilla on the racetrack. So they, I would imagine, would pit this time. We're going to look back at pit road. Oh, a couple guys sliding through their pit box. Tim White slid through his box. That may be a critical error. Whitehead down and away. Menchaca down and away. Base down and away. Still waiting on Carruthers and Osbornoff. There they go. There goes Tim White. We'll see if he can catch him. Zach Range, I don't think he has a penalty. I think he's good to go. Locked him up on entry. Here come the McCullough Motorsports trucks, as well as Mills and Warner. Who's going to have the best pit entry? Warner's awfully hot. Gets in the back of Devin Ray, who slides. Can he save it? Not quite. Devin Ray goes around on pit road in the 22, and that's a serious setback. He got tagged by the three of Nick Warner trying to slow down to make pit road speed, and unfortunately ends up sideways. Everybody else able to get into their boxes pretty well unscathed. Ron Morris slid through his pit box. Everybody else into their boxes pretty well unscathed. Up front. Well, it's going to be up front. Zach Range, this group is not in the slightest connected. In fact, they're really not connected. What in the world is going on between these KSR teammates and Zach Range? My goodness, what in the world are they doing? They're not even going to be close to hooked up. They're still not close to hooked up. They may allow the boys from the Wolfpack to get back into this one. They go past Devin Ray. That's going to mean that David Sheets inherits the lead here off pit road. Nick Warner, how about the pit stop out of the 3 machine? He's going to be second. Here comes that KSR group. Based, Osbornoff, Carruthers, Zach Range. Here they come. They've got drafts, so it's going to be at the very least an 11-truck race here. Verdict's still out on whether or not Harrison Whitehead's got draft. He's on basically the tail end of where you can be and still draft with the guy in front of you. It's going to be awfully close. It's a second and a half now. It's a little bit more. They spread out up front. They're all over the place. KSR, they try to split. Contact between Based and Osbornoff. 4 wide now as Mills and Range go to the outside of Sheets and Green. Based and Carruthers are to the outside of the other two. Now they split it back out to 3 wide. My goodness, how'd they get through that? And out of all of it, Nash Brambilla is going to inherit, or excuse me, not Nash Brambilla. He's actually the big loser out of that. He got some contact as well, but Nick Warner and Justin Mills, the big winners out of that exchange. As is Zach Range. There goes Mills to the bottom. Now Range pushed by Brambilla and the KSR teammates. Austin Green says, I don't like this at all. Wants to drop out of line and go to the tail end of this draft. Off into turn number 3. Here comes the Wolfpack. Harrison Whitehead, Michael Menchaca. They want a piece of this action. That scramble allowed them to grab enough draft to get back to the lead group. They're going to have a heck of a head of steam when they get there. Range, Brambilla now on the front row. Range drops the bottom in front of Mills. Nash, Brambilla to the point for Team PGR, the 18. Looking to get the job done here in Season 2 of the Little Guys Series. 22 laps remain here from Talladega Super Speedway. Now Brambilla to the bottom. He leaves the KSR teammates up top. Now he gets pushed by Zach Range. Here comes the Wolfpack. Whitehead, Menchaca. They want to make something happen here at the front of the field. Based alongside Brambilla. That is for the race lead. Carruthers, Osbornoff locked on the back of him. KSR once again strong down the back straightaway. Ryan Based pokes the nose out front. Into turn number 3, advantage 73. Brambilla back to the bottom. Zach Range pushing for all he's worth. Giving everything he's got in the back bumper, the 18 of Nash Brambilla. Whitehead, Menchaca are in the fray now. They are about 2 truck lengths off the back bumper of Trevor Osbornoff. They don't have much behind them, though, so they can't really gain much time because these 3 KSR trucks are in flow state here in the middle line. They are really well connected, really well hooked up. Menchaca and Whitehead have arrived at the party. They want to dance here with 21 laps to go. Every truck is up here besides Devin Ray and Tim White, who have both had problems on pit road. Brambilla to the top. He blocks Ryan Based. Do they split him out 3 wide? Nope, they're going to opt to push him. Oh, they thought about it. Ryan Based took a look, but drops back in line behind Nash Brambilla. Range to the bottom. He's got a push from Justin Mills. Nick Warner has settled into 3rd with Ron Morris 4th on the bottom. Further back, Josh McCullough is in the tail end of this group along with David Sheets and Austin Green. Still a long ways to go. Going to be 20 laps to go when we hit the start-finish line. Zach Range almost gets turned, but saves that truck. Great save by Zach Range. Somehow he gets that truck out from almost sliding towards the inside wall. He got a great push from Justin Mills, and it almost turned him sideways. Brambilla continues to lead in that outside line, trying to hold off the KSR charge from Ryan Bass, Dustin Carruthers, and Trevor Osrenath. Nash Brambilla got into this race by virtue of his Week 4 top 3 finish. And certainly is up here swinging with the front runners here late in the going. 20 laps to go. Now Ryan Bass, a definitive lead here in turns 3 and 4. Not quite going to clear the 18 of Brambilla. Zach Range doing an incredible job here on the bottom of the racetrack to keep that bottom line rolling, keep them even so those KSR trucks are stuck up top. They can't do much controlling here at the front. It's going to be a lot harder to beat them now. They have the Wolfpack trucks behind them that are going to be able to provide support. For now, though, Zach Range is doing the best job of anybody in the field, pushing on the back of Nash Brambilla. My goodness, the 043 is on another level right now with the pushes. You know Nash appreciates that. As they continue on down the backstretch, Justin Mills, Nick Warner, Ron Morse just biding their time here. Off into turn number 3, Range gets clear, and all of a sudden that pushing job, you know the second he got clear, he was going to look for the lead. He goes up in front of Ryan Bass for the lead. Nash Brambilla almost ends up the racetrack. Range has to go up there. Now the KSR trucks almost split him out 3 wide, but they all get back behind him, and to the lead for the first time tonight. Zach Range in the 043, that Snapdragon Mercedes Chevrolet, is out front with 18 laps to go from Talladega. Field has lapped Devin Ray. He was on pit road again there with 19 laps to go. Not sure what the issue is. Some issue there for the driver of the 22. The night certainly not going his way so far. Still a little ways to go. Range went to go bottom. Now he tries to throw a block, and he realizes it's too late. Has to get down in front of Nash Brambilla, who you know is going to push hard on the back of him. But that allows Ryan Bass to go up and around, and he's able to get right back to the point here in the 73. If he can get down, he's going to need to. He needs to let his teammate cool off. He clears quickly across the 043 of Zach Range, and now Carruthers is able to cool off the temperatures a little bit. Frantic here at the front of the field. 18 laps to go. Make it 17 when we get to the flag stand. 13 of our 15 championship drivers are in this pack. All 13 can be crowned champion. Whoever wins this race is crowned the champion of Little Guys Series Season 2. It's whoever crosses the start-finish line first. It's awfully simple. It really is a simple task tonight. Win the race, go to victory lane. At the same time, simple but also extremely complicated. It's very difficult to win one of these races. You've heard guys say it every single week. It's tough to get to victory lane. Tonight, that is the requirement. Range, Bass continue to lead this event. Ryan Bass has been switching between lanes, trying to get his teammate some air. As now the lanes have fanned out just a little bit, spread out here with 16 laps to go now from Talladega. And an interesting note here from Devin Ray, and this is going to be interesting because of the 2 trucks leading the field right now. He has mentioned that running solo on track, he had to make another pit stop because he was not going to have enough gas to make the end of this race. Now that begs the question. Zach Range and Ryan Bass have been leading this entire run. The question will become, if they can't get behind another truck and save, will they have enough to make the finish? Keep that in the back of your mind, just in case those two become a little bit more dire in their fuel situation. Just keep that in mind. Everybody lockstep 2 wide, gridlock formation here with 15 laps to go. They are ticking away one by one every single time we pass by the flag stand. We get closer to crowning ourselves a champion here on Monday night. This race is flying by. It's going to be over in no time at all. Range, Bass, obviously hoping that they're able to get the job done. But will they have enough gas? KSR, they're in the best spot as a team right now. Bass has to get down. Carruthers has to cool off a little bit more. And they control, once again, both lanes. Tim White will go a lap down. Here's the field passes by him in the 239. Will he be able to grab draft and stay with this group, be able to contend for the lucky dog? We'll see. Ryan Bass for now goes to lead Zach Range. Oh my goodness, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he just got the back of the 73 of Ryan Bass, moved him up the racetrack. Range back to the bottom. He's got Brambilla with him. They're waiting on Justin Mills. They need a little bit more help on that bottom line. For now, it surges here in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Here comes Zach Range. Give him the point once again. Onto the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. 14 laps to go. Everybody's still too wide. Nobody trying that third line yet. Several guys still just kind of waiting. Kind of, like I said, biding their time, saving their truck. Ryan Bass, quick clear across Zach Range. These guys have been getting a little more risky with these clears, a little more risky with the moves. Off of turn number 4, Bass back up in front of his teammate Carruthers. Range once again leads the bottom. And guys back there that are still just kind of waiting. Harrison Whitehead, Michael Menchaca, Nick Warner, Ron Morris, David Sheets, Josh McCullough, Austin Green. Waiting, watching, trying to pick the right moment to go get it. Bass back out to a lead. Let's see if he jumps back up in front of his teammate. Nope, not this time. Bottom lane fades a little bit. Top lane surges. Here comes Carruthers. Give him the point here about halfway down the backstretch. And in turn number 3, Bass gets another nice push from Zach Range, and once again he'll be clear of his teammates. This time he might go up there. Yes, he will. 73 back to the top in front of Dustin Carruthers, who lines him up, gives him a shot right there going to the tri-oval, but on the bottom, the charge once again from Zach Range in the 043. KSR now 1, 2, 3 once again in that outside line. They're in a really good spot. They have managed to line up 1, 2, 3 as we get in the latter stages of this race. They are probably in the most advantageous spot here as a team. And you know, they're probably not going to jump out on each other. We'll see. The goal here for them, I would imagine, would be to finish 1, 2, 3. But we will see how it goes for those boys up in the middle lane. The 73, the 10, and the 89. Now the bottom lane surges in a big way. Zach Range cuts off the KSR teammates. He goes to the point here off turn number 4. And once again, a nice charge on the bottom from Nash Brambilla. The driver for Team PGR finally gets a gap to poke his nose out, get some air, and get a chance to go lead this race. At the stripe, Range leads. 11 laps remain here from Talladega. We are down to it, almost down to the final 10 laps of this season. Who is going to get the job done? Down the back straightaway once again. Range back to the lead with the help of Ryan Bass. Now it's notable the McCullough trucks are up in the outside lane. Ron Morris has gone up there. David Sheets has gone up there. And Austin Green has gone up there. Starting to plot their moves. Starting to plan it out. They're going to have to get lined up several trucks in a row to go beat the KSR boys here up at the front. Menchaca loose as Ron Morris went to go around him. First time tonight. Here come the McCullough boys. 3 wide. Harrison Whitehead says it's time to go. 10 laps to go at Talladega. Whitehead gets moved out of the way. Ron Morris says, no, sirree, I want to lead this line no matter what. David Sheets behind him with Josh McCullough. Who else can they draw to go to that third lane? Austin Green has fallen off just a little. You imagine he'll go when he gets back to him. Ron Morris trying to make some hay. Osbornott says, no, sir. I want to go up there and lead. Morris tries to go 4 wide trouble. Around goes Carruthers. He's into the outside wall. Ron Morris is around. Osbornott is around as well. And the caution flag flies for the first time tonight on lap number 40. Ron Morris tried to squeeze in a gap and push it 4 wide there on the back straightaway. Had too much of a run. It does not work. Well, I'm going to try to find a pretty good angle of it here. Osbornott jumped up in front. Now, admittedly, this is a little bit late out of the driver of the 89. He sees the run coming, jumps out there, and look at how late this is. Ron Morris, he's got a huge head of steam. Let's see here. He gets to him. And I'm not sure if he meant to get on the left rear quarter panel, but he does nonetheless. And he hooks the 89 of Osmernoth. Nick Warner gets involved as well. Osmernoth goes sliding to the bottom. Harrison Whitehead is involved also. Carruthers pancakes the 76 into the outside wall. David Sheets, nowhere he can go. He gets involved in this one as well. What a save by Harrison Whitehead. Goodness. Green truck on the left side of your screen. You see Ron Morris goes to the back bumper of the 89. And Osmernoth, he ends up big time sideways here. Watch Whitehead in the 77. He's pointed all the way left. He's pointed all the way right. And keeps that truck going. Almost collects Josh McCullough, who has to jam on the brakes just to keep from hitting the 77. Get an onboard look here with the 77 of Harrison Whitehead. It's from the driver for the Wolfpack, Harrison Whitehead. Whoa, still saving it, still going left and right, sawing on the wheel, and wow, what a save there from Harrison Whitehead. Lucky dog under this caution is Tim White in the 239. As we pace with 8 laps to go in Season 2 here of the Little Guys Series. Leader under this caution, Nash Brambilla for PGR. It's a shame I don't have my normal broadcast partner here with me, Michael Triscaro. Imagine he would be pretty happy with what he's seen out of the driver of the 18 so far here tonight. Justin Mills runs second. Zach Range runs third. Ryan Bass runs fourth. And Nick Warner runs fifth. So all of a sudden the KSR dominance we'd seen all night goes up in smoke as Trevor Osmernoth now runs 12th and Dustin Carruthers runs in the 8th position. Not out of it by any means, and I'm certain we have not seen the last of them. But regardless, it does put a hamper on what was going to be a very good opportunity for them to, at the very least, win the race, but more than likely have more than one of their team trucks in that podium position. Certainly one of their trucks was going to win the championship, I think, if it had stayed green. So with 8 laps to go, we will reset the field for you here as we get 1 to go. It'll be 6 laps to go, I believe, when we go under the green flag one more time. Should be 6 laps to go. Great night so far. Certainly still a lot to be decided. Lots still to go on. So we'll see what the rest of this race has in store for us. Everybody on the flat. I think everybody's saving some gas here under this caution. I wasn't sure if gas was going to be an issue, but now I'm almost positive it definitely is. Look at the amount of guys down there on the apron. Just trying to save a little bit of gas here before we get back into the green flag. If you've got a driver you are pulling for here tonight, if you've got a driver you are watching in particular, shout them out right now as we get ready for what potentially could be our final restart of the night. Let them know. I know they love to see it. I know they appreciate the support here on a Monday night. It is a great audience, by the way, for a Monday night at this, what is now Tuesday morning. I would like to say I do appreciate everybody for joining me on what has bled into Tuesday morning here. It is 12:12 on the East Coast. So I appreciate everybody staying up late, burning the midnight oil here on a Monday night. As we get ready to go back into the green flag for what could be the final restart here of Season 2, the DegaPros Little Guys Series. It's been such a long season for these guys. What a season it has been, and it really could come down to one final restart. 6 laps could decide our champion here. We do have 3 green-white checkered attempts if we need them. These guys, obviously, as racers, would probably like to finish this one out right here. Let's see who we got for support here in the chat. Nash Brambilla. A couple of supporters out here tonight. Michael Menchaca, Zach Range, the Green Ghost Austin Green, my fellow broadcaster on Tuesday nights. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. Nah, I'm not biased, but Austin Green running back there in the 11th position. And he's going to have a look at this. He was telling me basically all week he was going to have a look at this race, no matter what he had to do. He was going to find a way to get into it. So we'll see how this goes. Nash Brambilla brings the field into the restart zone. 6 laps to go from Talladega. Green flag is back in the air. We are racing once again. Up through the gears they go. Outside line did not get a great jump behind Justin Mills. Bottom line did. Already starting to fan. Zach Range, how did he put that truck in that window? Zach Range with the move of the night so far in the 043. The 043 up on his horse now. He's behind Justin Mills. Justin Mills goes to the race lead here off turn number 2. Here comes Dustin Carruthers with his teammate Trevor Osbornoff. KSR trying to come back to the front. For now, Mills leads. Range drops to the bottom in front of Nash Brambilla. Middle line coming for Justin Mills, but not before Zach Range gets to the race lead. He brings Nash Brambilla along with him. Top side now, it's all 3 KSR entries. Based, Carruthers, Osbornoff lined up in that outside lineup against the outside wall. Nick Warner has come through the pack, as has Josh McCullough, as has David Sheets. All of a sudden, they find themselves in contention. Through the trial, while they're scrambling further back, looking for positions. McCullough up in front of the middle. He wants to get up here to this lead pack, but there's not much help to be had. 5 laps to go here in this Season 2 championship race. When does Nash Brambilla make the move? He's leaning. He's still leaning. Not going to have time. Stays committed to the back bumper of Zach Range. Josh McCullough, Justin Mills, Michael Menchaca, Ron Morris. Now Range up to block. In front of McCullough. They get almost sideways. Somehow they all keep it together. Here comes the surge on the bottom. Range goes to the top to block. He blocks the KSR trucks up against the outside wall. That allows McCullough to go into the middle. Brambilla on the bottom. 3 wide for the race lead. 3 wide for the championship. Here in turns number 3 and 4. McCullough to lead. Now Brambilla surges to his inside. Warner, Mills doing an excellent job of pushing there. Base drops back in line. Range out to dry. McCullough now only battling 1 truck to his inside. Range side drafting hard on the right side of Michael Menchaca. 4 more times around Talladega. McCullough at the bottom in front of Nash Brambilla. Now Justin Mills is pushed by Michael Menchaca. The underdog of underdogs has made his presence felt. He wants to win the championship for the Wolfpack. Through turns 1 and 2. Down the long Alabama gang super stretch. Josh McCullough continuing to lead the way. Justin Mills starting to make his presence felt once again at the front. He's going to be side by side as Menchaca tries everything he can to get him back up even. Here comes Ryan Based. KSR surge to the outside. They've got Zach Range in tow with them. Up on the outside, they're going to get at least 1 truck clear right here. Josh McCullough is clear to the middle. How far do they get? Ryan Bass to the middle. He wants the race lead. So does Zach Range. Carruthers looks a lane higher now, thinks better of it, drops back in behind Range. 3 more times around this super speedway. McCullough Bass, battle for the lead. Zach Range, Carruthers, Osbornoff, now Austin Green, Ron Morrison. I believe that's the lap truck of Devin Ray have joined the party up in the outside line. How far can they get? Carruthers, what are the temperatures like underneath that 10 truck? How much does he have left for his teammate? Justin Mills up in front of Zach Range. Trouble! Around goes Nash Brambilla. The engine expires on the 18 of Brambilla, and his championship hopes are over. He's going to need a caution now. He has expired the engine on that PGR entry. Up front, McCullough now battles with Justin Mills and Zach Range. Ryan Based in the middle. Oh, contact between McCullough, between Whitehead and Warner. They all keep it straight. Now there's trouble. Around goes Trevor Osbornoff in the 89. He slides it, and now the caution flag comes out as they're wrecking up in front. Take a breath. A caution flag here with 3 laps to go is going to send us into overtime. Harrison Whitehead, Ron Morris involved in this one, as well as Trevor Osbornoff. I believe Michael Menchaca is also involved in this one. What a race here at the front of the field. We'll take a look at what started this, the second caution of the night. This was a wreck for about 30 seconds before it actually started. I'm not sure what the best angle is going to be. I think TV follow probably going to be our best bet here. Tell you that caution helped us, Nash Brambilla. We'll get to that in a moment, though. Ryan Baste actually had just made a move to the bottom. There's contact between Carruthers and Whitehead. Then Warner and Whitehead make contact. Osmernaut's going to get hit, I think, by the Tim White machine as he tries to bail. Warner gets hit by David Sheets. Whitehead, he's still trying to save that truck. It's still out of shape. David Sheets actually gets hooked by Whitehead here. He's going to collect his teammate Ron Morris. Austin Green somehow skates by this one. Whitehead gets up into the outside wall. Tim White through the grass. There's Devin Ray scooting by. Menchaca, he went for a slide through the grass. I don't know if he's going to actually get the pit wall right here. If he does, it's not very much. Yeah, he hits it right there, but it shouldn't be too significant of damage on that machine. This was a large incident here. High-intensity racing here at the front of the field. And this is what you get when a championship's on the line. Go through it one more time here in the trioval. This was, again, a wreck for most of the front stretch. I'm surprised they didn't wreck any earlier than they did. Nick Warner trying everything in his power to save it. He actually does. There's Sheets. He gets turned. Menchaca actually had this missed. Oh, then they wrecked a second time. Okay, I didn't see that one the first time. McCullough and Range got together. They collect Michael Menchaca, who really wasn't even going to be a part of anything until they wrecked a second time. So there were more than one wreck under this caution. Wow. So 2 wrecks happen here in one. It brings out a caution, which will send us into overtime attempt number 1. We have 3 available to us here tonight, and I'll go ahead and go through that format now while we have a second. So the first 2 attempts are completely normal. If a caution comes out, we'll simply reset the field, re-rack, and try it again. The third attempt, if a caution flag is thrown, it will end the race. It will effectively end the race. And the driver in front at the moment of caution will be the winner and the Season 2 champion. Otherwise, we're just going to race it out. If this race gets to the white flag, it is official. Whatever happens from there, well, it's going to happen. It's going to go down how it's going to go down. And boy, for this season to come down to a green-white checkered, it's almost fitting. At the same time, it is so exhilarating, so intense. This is going to be a fun 2 laps. These guys have battled for so long this season, and it comes down to basically 5.5 miles. We'll re-rack the field for you in a moment. I do want to do a couple of little housekeeping things. Devin Ray is now back on the lead lap. He gets the lucky dog by virtue of that caution. Nash Brambilla, unfortunately, has called it an evening here in the 18. I think. Yes, he has. So the 18 has called it a night here from Talladega Super Speedway. An unfortunate end to an outstanding season for Brambilla. And so that will leave 14 drivers to battle it out. And we will re-rack the field. We'll do a full rundown for you. Row number 1 for this restart here. Green-white checkered number 1. On the inside, Justin Mills. He is the race leader for Hyper Motorsports. On the outside, Ryan Baste for KSR. Row 2. As Mills blinks and comes back in. Row 2, Zach Range in the 043. And Josh McCullough in the 05. Dustin Carruthers for KSR is 5th. Nick Warner to his outside in 6th. Austin Green will roll from 7th on this restart with Tim White in 8th. Harrison Whitehead 9th, Trevor Osmernaut 10th, Michael Menchaca 11th, Devin Ray 12th, David Sheets 13th, and Rod Morris Jr. in 14th. And David Sheets, Ron Morris, they still remain on pit road fixing damage. Here we go. It is effectively 12 trucks here to settle it out. 1 man will be named champion. 3 men will be going home with payouts. Who is going to get the job done? Green-white checkered, attempt number 1 here in the Little Guys Series. All of the action, everything that this season has brought comes down to 2 more laps. Pace car is down, and it leaves the field in the hands of Hyper Motorsports driver Justin Mills. He brings the field slowly into the tri-oval to crawl into the restart zone. Will we get to the white flag, or will we need another attempt? Justin Mills brings the field in the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. 2 laps to go from Talladega. Up through the gears they go. Ryan Bass got a heck of a restart. He's got a heck of a pusher behind him too. Austin Green immediately got to the outside in the 87. Watch out for the Green Ghost. Mills back to the bottom. He's got great help from Zach Range. Where does he go here off turn number 2? Ryan Bass going to have to make a decision if Mills starts to come up. He did, but now he stays parked. Here comes Ryan Bass. Who's the first to try the third line? Bass. Back to the door number of the Justin Mills machine, but the bottom has a great push. Zach Range is pushing for everything he's worth. White to the outside. Austin Green realizes he's got to take it. Now he drops back in line. Oh, Zach Range door checks to 73 of Ryan Bass. We scramble here in turns 3 and 4. Bass, can he catch the draft? I think he can. Couple trucks out of line. Couple trucks trying to keep it in shape. Here we go into the trial. Well, this race is going to be official. It's going to end right here. White flag one more time around Talladega Superspeedway. Here comes Josh McCullough. McCullough Motorsports, 3 trucks deep on the outside. Justin Mills has a push from the Wolfpack. Harrison White, Edmund Chalk on the bottom. Mills is going to have to block. He has no choice. I don't think he can keep it parked and win this race. Here comes Josh McCullough at the outside. Look out for Dustin Carruthers in the middle. He finds a place in line. Zach Range, what can he do with just him? 3 trucks up top. It's going to take a Herculean effort. McCullough stays top. He stays committed to his teammates. On the bottom side, it's Carruthers and Mills. McCullough goes to the race lead, but he stays parked up top. That allows the push to come back to the bottom. 3 wide off turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race. Mills is loose. Carruthers tries to get the push. Josh McCullough, Dustin Carruthers, Justin Mills. Who gets back to the line first? Contact! Drag race! Josh McCullough is your Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. It comes down to the last 5 feet, and Josh McCullough wins the DegaPros Little Guys Series Championship for McCullough Motorsports in the 05. We'll let him celebrate here on the front stretch. We'll have to go back and take a look at that finish. What a finish it was. It was a drag race. Carruthers is 200 short. We're going to have a big joint burnout here on the front straightaway. A bunch of guys are celebrating. Josh McCullough. This is a long time coming for the driver of the 05. Denied last season, ran well. This season, took him a few weeks to get in, and once he did, he said, I'm not going to let that opportunity pass me again. He did what he had to do. He had a great push from his teammates. And ultimately, he gets the job done, and he is the Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. We're going to try to get your top 3 for interviews first. Hopefully those guys... Oh, okay, we'll wait. We don't have Josh McCullough or Austin Green yet, so we'll wait a minute. We're actually going to go take a look at this finish. I actually want to... Well, I wanted to try to take a look at the whole white flag lap, really, as we wait for these guys to get over here, get prepped for post-race interviews. We're going to take a look at the entire white flag lap. And watch Josh McCullough here. McCullough, Austin Green, Devin Ray. A credit to the 87 and the 22. They did what they had to do. Muscled their way forward. And had the good enough push to get the win. Up on the top side, into turn number 3, Ryan Baste thought he was going to be in this one as well. He and Zach Range had some contact. And then right here, I honestly credit Zach Range. He made this close. And this was a drag race off turn number 4. This is a drag race to behold. And all the way home in the trial, still too wide. Dustin coming across. And all the way home to the start-finish line. Well, we actually try to... Oh, well. Come on now. Trying to get an idea of the finishing margin here. There it is. The margin of victory here tonight for Josh McCullough. Just that much. The nose of the truck gets him the Little Guys Series championship. All right, we're going to go get your top 4 interviews here tonight. The top 3 men going home with payouts here in Season 2 of the Little Guys Series, the big championship pot. Paid out across 3 men tonight, the first of which is my broadcast partner on Tuesday nights, the driver for McCullough Motorsports, Austin Green, in the 87. And then hopefully in the next couple minutes we'll get Josh McCullough. I'm not sure. We're still waiting on him, but we'll get Austin Green up here in first and see what he's got to say about tonight's race. Hey, Austin, it's Dawson in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, what's up, Dawson?
Well, not too much. You come home third tonight. It's a nice payout for you. You push your teammate there to the championship on the last lap. Take me through that last run, how you guys were able to get that third line wound up and ultimately come home with a first and a third place finish.
Well, it definitely feels like a double win when you can do 2 things right there, so that was pretty fun. But I was sitting back behind the 3 of Nick Warner, and I told Josh, I said, if he splits you, I'm going to go with you. So I thought he was going to jump high, but then they had like a little incident or something. They went up. I saw Josh get left out, and I didn't really think we were going to get a run as much as I thought he was going to go to the back. So I just jumped up to try to hold him even. And then the 3 jumped down, and we started getting some momentum. Devin got there. And then when we jumped to that third lane, it was just, I told him, I said, I'm not going to let off. I'm just going to push here. I said, stay up the rest of the way. We will get it. I was double red coming off of 4. I don't know how it didn't blow up, but it didn't. And we got a teammate to win. That was good stuff.
Man, outstanding finish, an outstanding run to the end for you guys. An outstanding season for you. You come home third out of all of that. So just, kind of take me through what this season brought for you and how you feel about coming home third.
Yeah, I mean, the season itself was kind of tough in the sense of it's a really cool, fun series. I've loved every part of it. I mean, $10 any week for a shot at 50. And then, of course, I mean, if someone told me $20 for a chance at 300, I'd be crazy not to want to try it. But it's hard when you have a mixed field, but it was cool to get a win on the season and bring home third tonight. Still a little dog, I guess, but Josh has got the dog in him, gets a win tonight, so hopefully we'll be back next season.
Well, absolutely. And real quick, before we let you go, celebrate with your teammates here tonight. Anybody you want to thank or shout out for that third place effort?
Yeah, I got to shout out McCullough Motorsports, of course, first off. Josh, congrats on the win. That was a hell of a move that he made to jump up 3 wide right there. Everybody else tonight, David, Ron, Dustin, we had a couple other ones in there. But, shout out to Hickory Racing Network. Of course, thank you so much for doing this. John, for putting on the series. Again, I think it's a really cool thing. I hope he keeps it going, and maybe we'll try to see if we can get it next season. And then I think Adam, one of my roommates, is still watching. Shout out to him. And I think that's it.
All right. Well, congratulations on the third place effort and a fantastic season for you here tonight. After that third place effort, you're going home with a pretty nice payout. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate it with your teammates, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, Dawson. Thank you.
Austin Green, your third place finisher here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. That moves us to the man who fell a few feet short. Dustin Carruthers, a man who at one point this season won back-to-back races, and now tonight comes home with the second place payout. Hey, Dustin, it's Dawson for the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, Dustin?
Well, you come home second tonight. Certainly a very strong effort for yourself and your teammates there. Take me through the race as a whole and that run to the finish. How you wound up with a second place effort tonight?
Yeah, it was just trying to save fuel most of the race. We were single file for at least 50% of that race, just trying to save fuel and get through that first run. And after that first stop, that's when the racing starts.
Absolutely. We saw it ramp up in a hurry. You guys were in a good spot. That caution comes out. Just kind of take me through the team aspect of it. What you guys were kind of talking about as a team as that race went on, and we saw you guys get in a really good spot. Just take me through that teamwork that went into tonight's race.
We just tried to stay linked up as much as we could. Having 3 drivers in the race helped out a lot. On that last restart, Ryan was leading that second line, and he was in a really good position to win it. And I'm not 100% sure what happened, but he got taken out, and it all got jumbled up, and I was able to lead that second line. And just Josh and Austin and Devin, those guys linked up on the outside line. That's a hard trio to beat.
Absolutely, and you come home with second here tonight. It's a fantastic season for you. That saw you win a race or two, and also you come home with a pretty nice payout here tonight for that championship finish as well. So while I have you here for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Congratulations, Josh, for the championship win there. That's it was a really good race there at the end. Thank my kids, my sponsor, Kanawha Valley Key Fob. Those guys got us in a good truck tonight. Kenneth Stamper and all the guys at KSR, Trev, Ryan, Thomas, Brian, everyone. I mean, we just work together every night, and it just pays off every week.
Absolutely, it does. A strong effort for you tonight. Second place. Congratulations. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate it, and we will see you very soon.
All right. Thank you, Dustin.
Dustin Carruthers for KSR, the second place finisher here tonight. That leads us to the man of the hour, the man we are calling the Season 2 Little Guys Series champion, the driver of the 05 from McCullough Motorsports, Josh McCullough, and we'll see what he's got to say about his efforts here tonight. Hey, Josh, it's Dustin in the booth. You get a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, you get the job done tonight. The man of the hour, the Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. I know this one is a big night for you. It's a big accomplishment. Take me through it. Take me through how you're feeling after you get the job done and get a championship here tonight.
Man, I'm so nervous I can't even get my breath in right now. It was such a good race. I got scared on the ending right there when Zach Range came up in the Ryan. I thought I was done because I fell so far back. But if it wasn't for my teammates, I wouldn't have got back up there and won it.
Well, absolutely, and kind of take me through that. We saw it. McCullough Motorsports had a few trucks in the field tonight. You guys were able to get linked up on that run, and just, take me through, even over the course of this season, just, how much you guys have been able to do as a team, and how, especially how it feels to come home 1-3 in the championship finale.
Man, I've been having some shit luck in these races. I'm glad to be where I'm at now. If it wasn't for my teammates, I wouldn't have got it.
Well, absolutely, and because of that, you are in victory lane tonight. You are a Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. So while I've got you here for a second, anybody want to thank or shout out?
I want to thank McCullough Motorsports, my teammates for the help. And I want to thank for everybody watching. And I want to thank for you broadcasting.
All right, well, congratulations on this huge accomplishment tonight. Congratulations on becoming the Season 2 Little Guys Series champion. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate it with your teammates, and we will see you real soon.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Josh McCullough in the 05, your Season 2 Little Guys Series champion here on a Monday night. What a race it was tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. I want to thank everybody for joining me. We had a great audience tonight. It was a fun race. I had a heck of a time this season. It really was a lot of fun. Last season was fun. This season even more so. What a night it has been. What a season it has been. I'm so grateful for everybody that came out. Whether you came out tonight, it was your first race, whether it was your 6th race, whether it was your, 11th race I think that I've covered for this series. What a time that it has been. Josh McCullough is the 2nd Little Guys Series champion. After Michael Triscaro won Season 1, now Josh McCullough adds his name to the list here in Season number 2. Some programming notes for you before we let you all go here on a Monday night. Tomorrow night, tune in about 10 or so p.m., maybe 10:30. I can't remember when it starts. 10 or 10:30 on the Ghost Racing Network. Myself And Austin Green will have the call for you for Ron Morris Racing Tuesday Night Thunder. I believe that's still going on this week. Other than that, no OP racing on Wednesday or Saturday, or Thursday for that matter. No more OP racing this week as those Super Speedway series have reached their finales. And the Throwback Series on Thursdays has taken the week off for the Thanksgiving holiday this week. We'll be back next Thursday night. Beyond that, we are going to have some more NSRA Sunday Select playoff racing for you on the Ghost Racing Network on Sunday evening. Next Sunday night, I believe that's, other than Ron Morris Racing, the next thing on tap for us here this week. It's a light week. I'm so grateful for everybody coming out and watching. So grateful if you watched my coverage of the Gobble Gobble 500 yesterday. What a race that was, and now what a couple of races we've had here so far tonight. I'm grateful again for the opportunity to get up here and talk to you about racing. Certainly hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, enjoyed this season. Keep watching. Subscribe to the Hickory Racing Network. Hit that little bell. We might have a Season 3 of the Little Guys series coming up. We will see. Hit that notification bell, and you will see when I am getting ready to go live if that Season 3 does occur here in the next week or a couple of weeks. And we will have all the action back for you here on the Hickory Racing Network if that is indeed the case. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. That's going to do it for me for the Hickory Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. Everybody have a great Tuesday now. Great Tuesday morning. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody celebrating this week. Please take the time, celebrate with your friends and family this week. Celebrate with your loved ones as we ring in the Thanksgiving holiday and the holiday season. Good night, everybody.